Hello, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful day, to this amazing webinar, to us celebrating Europe, the European Union, and celebrating it in style the way we know it with a webinar, a seminar, a learning opportunity on the Union Customs Code. So thank you very much for being with us on this fine, wonderful 9th of May, 2025. My name is Arnie Milken. I've been in customs and global trade for 20 plus years. I host these customs webinars for a long time with great pleasure because it's always great to connect with so many people and also to share experiences like with customs professionals around the European Union, around the UK, around the US, and around the world. So it's great to have you. We're going to make a start right away. So today's customs webinar is about the Union Customs Code reform, and it's about a walkthrough. It's practical information for customs professionals on today, the 9th of May, 2025. Now, before we get into this, I'm excited because we've been running the 2024-2025 free-for-all live events for almost a year now. We're coming to an end, and it's been a great success. So if you want to check out all the previous sessions we did on CSDDD, EUDR, CBAM, 2025 updates, custom special procedures, and today, Europe Day, then there is a lot that you can do on our on-demand shop. You can get the recording of these sessions, the slides, the supportive documents, all there. And if you're wondering what is all this about, there's a link. Watch the launch of the 2024-25 free for our webinar series on our YouTube channel, which explains everything we're doing. But basically, we're running these every month. They're free for attendees live. And yeah, they help us connect, they help us explain, they help us make sense of the complicated world that we're in. And I want to highlight two events that we took that you can watch completely without any paywall or whatnot, because they're on our YouTube channel, which is really popular, by the way. And I want to highlight these because they were quite amazing events. We had a WCO International Day of Customs celebration as part of our webinar series in January. And you can get, just look at the names, right? We've got the professors, we've got lecturers, we've got business people, entrepreneurs. We've got Walter van der Meren from UPS and Lars Anderson, the master of the Worshipful Company of World Traders, all of the coming together. And it's a live recording on our YouTube channel. Please do check it out. It's really, really insightful. I really think it's great. And of course, the other big event we did this year I want to highlight is the International Women's Day celebration. So we met on the 8th of March to celebrate the International Women's Day with a special webinar dedicated to celebrating the remarkable achievement of women in customs and export control and sanctions. And we had two amazing leaders from the US, Bonnie Kirsch and Lila Landis. And for an hour, we talked about what it means to be a female in customs in 2025. So why don't you go check that out? You can watch all of that again on our YouTube channel. So just a little final points here. There are a couple of upcoming webinars, live events that we want to invite you to. The next one is on May 26th. It's a premium live event on the UK Cargo and Border Adjustment Mechanism. So like today, we're going to deep dive into what we know already. The legislation has been published, at least the draft legislation, plus fact sheets, plus how it will work. And we'll draw from the experience from the EU to look at how the UK Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism works. If you're interested in that, then secure your spot. It's on the 26th of May. On the 5th of June, it's a live meetup, so there's no online meeting. That happens in Washington. I'll be in Washington, and we'll do a kickoff with croissants and coffee at a very, very cool location in Washington, D.C. So you may not be in Washington, but you may have colleagues that are in Washington. So if you do, please do say hi. So it's on the 5th of June. It's a live event. There's no online. It's just me talking about US tariffs and the practical tools you need to navigate those. And then one day later, we'll travel to New York, and then you can meet us in New York, and we will focus on AML, export control, and sanctions. And that is because in New York sits all the banks and all the financial institutions, and they want to know that. So that's why we're doing this. On the 16th of June, it's a masterclass on successful tariff reduction. That will be online again. And this is how you get to avoid, mitigate, or recover US tariffs like a pro. So you'll be with me for 1 hour, and I'll explain all the strategies that we currently advise to our clients. Then on the 23rd of June, it's our last free-for-all live event. Now, note this is free for all. So again, you can register right now, get your spot. It's free, no pay, nothing. And it is about reflecting on Brexit at 9. Because it's 9 years since the referendum, you see that the EU and the UK are in talks about making it all easier. Now, we know that there's a trade agreement with the US, and that can jeopardize the relations with the EU. Just think of chlorinated chicken, that problem. And so we have to take stock. We take stock on the day of the referendum 9 years ago, and that will be our last in our 2024-2025 free-for-all live events. Okay. That's that. Last thing, and then we really start, and that is this point. Some of you have asked about CPD points and about certificates for this webinar, given that we are learning. This is a learning webinar. This covers a lot of ground, as you should be used to. You may ask for CE credits if you're in the US, or CPD credits if you are in the United Kingdom, or if you're in the EU, then know that we have designed this based on what the EU wants us to do in terms of developing competency. So this is not a marketing webinar. This is something that actually aims to deliver value and understanding and promote understanding and awareness. So if you want a certificate of participation, which shows your achievement, then please email us. For the free ones, we do charge a small admin fee, but it's small. So if you want it, then just let me know. I want to welcome you now again for the second time. Welcome to the Union Customs Code Reform walkthrough. Practical information for customs professionals today on Europe Day. So what are the objectives of today? We want to understand very quickly why today is important, the 9th of May. We want to understand, for those that are not too familiar with what the customs union is, what that is and why it matters. We want to know why there's a need for a reform. We want to go into the core elements of the UCC reform proposal, understand where we are in the legislative process, walk through the main elements, notably process, people, data, AEO, T&C, not terms and conditions, and e-commerce, plus the other bits, and then draw a conclusion and recommendation for next steps, recommendations for us, the trade professionals, but also recommendations for the lawmakers who are still going at it. We have learning outcomes because this is a learning webinar. So you can see here, I will not read them, but this is what we want to achieve. And there's quite a lot to achieve in the next 50 minutes or so. So today is Europe Day. So Europe Day is important because it is the anniversary of the Schuman Declaration, and that's why we're running this European webinar. And we do need to acknowledge the fact that today is Europe Day. Europe is a symbol of peace and unity, especially after the Second World War. And as we are currently in times of war again, it is more important than ever to make sure that we recognize that Europe is there because we had war, and it is the symbol for peace and unity. And it is the part-time where we reach out, where institution in the EU in Brussels host open days. So if you haven't been to one of those, I recommend you do that. Look at an exhibition, do something European today. That's not your maybe not from your country, but from another country. And one of the biggest achievements in the European Union is the customs union. It's one of the oldest achievements as well, one of the first things that they've set up. And it is a flagship of why Europe matters and why it is so good as it is. It was already created more than 50 years ago, and it creates a single external tariff, and it abolishes the borders amongst member states. It has, therefore, we have a harmonized external tariff. All goods from non-EU countries face the same duty upon first entry, and once you're in, you're in. It's free circulations within the union, no customs checks, no duties on internal borders. It's a unified, at least we're supposed to be, a unified administration. Now, you'll see that that is not really the case, but, promotion-wise, it should be okay. National customs authorities they apply common rules, I guess, and they cooperate under the Commission oversight, and the relevant DG is the Taxation and Customs Union. That also boosts the single market. We have a single market where we have 4 freedoms, financial and freedom of movement, freedom of financial services, financial transportation goods, all of that. And that is facilitated by having one outside layer that protects us in a way. That makes us also a global trading bloc, and that means the EU Customs Union negotiates trade deals, or the EU, I should say, can negotiate trade deals and represents all member states at the WTO alongside the member states as well. And if you see the kind of the picture here, there's a little bomb. See that bomb on top? So you don't know what's in the package, but customs sees what you don't, so it protects us. That's the idea.